There we are. Now, need to zoom in on it just a little. Focus. Just a little. Okay. Got a shadow. Computer, where's that coming from? The light's adjusted. That didn't fix it. Okay. That's what I'm seeing on the side. Oh, that's the computer I'm looking at. Okay. Oh boy, I don't know how this is gonna go tonight. All right, we got 2 viewers. Hello, 2 viewers. I don't know who's in here. 1 viewer now. I don't have a clue who we got here. But welcome to the first live chat with me. Or the first live painting, I should say. I have made a mess. I slung liquid white all over my computer, and my laptop is covered in liquid white now. Great. All right. It says we're up to 3 people. I don't know who's here, but it is time for it to start. So, I'm nervous. All right, I am bad nervous, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't gonna lie. I don't have a clue what I'm gonna paint yet. I think just a simple little something in the Bob Ross kind of, just a simple little mountain, something real simple. I don't think I need to get too complex in my first YouTube event. All right, it says I got 4 people watching. Thank y'all for being here with me. And I'm gonna pick up a 2-inch brush. First thing, I got a 16 by 20 canvas, and it's already covered in a thin, even coated liquid white. Turned on landscape, and the colors I put out tonight are titanium white. Well, I'll pick this up and show it to you. Titanium white, phthalo blue, Prussian blue, alizarin crimson, little mountain mix, dark sienna, Van Dyke brown, sap green, cad yellow, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, and the evil bright red. Now, if y'all got any questions at all about anything tonight, just type them in. Or if you want to say hello, I got my computer set up right here so I can kind of see what's happening. I kind of like this setup better on my canvas than I do when I'm doing videos. I think I'm going to swap over to this. One thing is, on my screen, I got a little shadow running across up here. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. If you can, let me know. Because I need to try to figure out where it's coming from so I can solve that. All right, I got a 2-inch brush. And the first thing I'm going to do is go right into a little of the phthalo blue. Tap it in the brush. Then we'll come over here and get just a little of the Prussian blue. Tap a little of that in the brush. Hey, Dream World, what's going on, man? Then we'll come up here with my little X strokes and just come across the top of the canvas, just like so. And try to keep the corners darker. We always want our darker sky to be in the corners here. That way it kind of pulls your eye to the middle. All right, then we'll just work our way down. And our paint's going to mix with the liquid white. Further down we go, the more it's going to mix and get lighter and lighter toward the horizon. And that's what we want it to do. Like so. Hope it's showing up. Dreamwar, how's this looking on whatever screen you're watching on? Is it look okay? Because I can't really tell. My computer screen's kind of dark. All right. We got light and dark spots in our sky, which is achievable just by doing the X strokes. Okay, picture is great. Linda off. Hey, Linda, how are you? Thank you for joining us. All right, now what I want to try to do next is I'm going to take these same two colors, that's Prussian blue and phthalo blue, mix them on the brush again, and then come down here and just start from the side, pulling in, just like so. Let it get lighter as it gets toward the horizon. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Sound is better than your regular. Yeah, I got a different microphone. The microphone I was using, it kind of. I mean, it was supposed to be a good one. The guy said it was when I bought it, but today I went and I spent more money, and I picked up a new microphone. So I'm glad you noticed that. That lets me know it's doing better. I know I like this angle better right here on this camera. I like that a lot better. Then I do the regular videos. I think I'll start doing just the regular YouTube videos on this angle. All right. Just like that. Now, to save some time tonight, I got a bunch of brushes out, so I'm not going to. Now, I won't let them build up on me too much over there. I will wash them eventually, but I don't want y'all watching me paint brushes all night. What's up, Kunzi? How you doing tonight, man? All right, now I'm gonna come right here at the bottom in the lightest color because I don't want to start at the top and bring that dark color down. So I'm gonna start right here and just lightly blend up. That's all I'm gonna do. Just lightly blend up and try to get out all those brush marks and soften the scalp a little, about like so. And then I'm gonna work my way down from the light color to the dark and blend this together. Real lightly again. Now if this works, this little spot we left right here, it's supposed to act like a sheen of light. And if you've ever watched any of my other videos, you know that sometimes that works for me, sometimes it don't. It just depends on how heavy-handed I get. Sometimes I'm bad to close that up. And I'll end up with just a solid blue bottle, which don't really matter. I mean, it is what it is. What we got going on? So far, so good. My internet is not up to speed. Video keeps buffering. I'm sorry, Linda. I'm doing good, Kunzi. Dreamworld's got you covered there, Linda. He's giving you some advice. Glad you asked. All right, just like that, we got us somewhat of a sky and some water to work with. I'm gonna hang on to this brush. And I think tonight, just to keep things simple, since this is my first video, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I am nervous. I'm bad nervous, so I'm gonna try to keep things simple tonight. I'm just gonna pick up my 1-inch brush and we'll come up here, pull a little of this white down, and just tap. See how I'm doing that? Just tapping that corner, that top corner, right in that paint. Just loading it up with white. And this is straight titanium white. Sometimes you put a little red in it, little red, very little. That's entirely up to you. Or you can put other colors in it if you want. And then I come up here with that same corner, and I'll just start at random. And I'll just come up here and I'll just tap across the sky. Just do all you can to keep that brush moving. And just tap you on some spots like that, and then turn your brush sideways. And it'll bring your cloud to a point out here. See how I did that? You can come back over here and carry it on off the canvas if you want to. Just like so. Then you can pick up the 2-inch brush that's got that blue on it. Get your paper towel and knock some of that color out. Just coming up here real lightly. Blend out the bottom. Just stay out the top. Don't want to mess your tops up. And then real lightly fluff it up. Real lightly. And then just barely come across it. That's almost like the touch of a newborn, just real light. I mean, it's just so light a touch. You can barely see that paint move when you're doing that. Now, when you do that, you're going to get a little misty look under here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not. But right where that misty area is, where it's kind of fading out, load your brush back up with white again. And you can come right back under that color and just use that as a separator, kind of like we do on mountains. And you can come right under that color. See how I'm doing that? Just making sure to leave some of that mist between these two clouds, and it'll look like this cloud's in front of that cloud. And that's the way you sell that illusion, is just by doing that. And you can tap the bottom out again. Now if your paint builds up on you up here, you tap it down a little. You ain't gotta let it build up real high when you get real thick. You're doing awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I just didn't know how the world was going to take to this country voice of mine, Sometimes people don't like that accent. But I've had it for 56 years. And I can't get rid of it now. It's a part of me, so. All right, we're going to blend out this bottom again. Just like we did on that first one. Just like so. Then very lightly fluff it up. Oh, what a hair. There's good one. All right, and then real lightly again. Just come across and just lay it cloud right down into your sky. Just like so. And just like that, we got 2 little clouds sitting up there just floating around, having a good day, doing whatever they want to do. If you've ever watched Bob, Bob used to say clouds are the freest thing in nature. They do whatever they want to do. And he talks a couple times about him and his brother. All right, I'm just going to throw a little something over here just to kind of weigh this side out a little. I don't want it to get too heavy on that other side. He talks about him and his brother laying out in the grass, watching the clouds make different objects. And I don't know how many kids have done that, but I know when I was a kid, I did it too, Well, I ain't gonna lie, I've done it as an adult. I've seen clouds make some stuff as an adult that blows my mind. Just the other day on social media, there was a picture floating around a guy took, and that cloud looked just like a big old pool sitting up there, and it's getting national attention because of how real it looks. Have any of y'all saw that yet? It's pretty amazing. I thought it was. All right. I'm going to wash the brush right quick. I know everybody wants to hear the devil get beat out of it. And I use a trash can with a beater rack in the bottom of it. That's all I use. Okay, Linda, that's fine. I don't think it's my internet. But now we did have some storms earlier today. But I tested my speed earlier and it's showing pretty high. So all right. Next thing we're gonna do is make us a little mountain. I heard everybody say yay. Oh, mountains. Don't we all love making mountains? All right. I'm just going to go right into the mountain mix, pull it out flat as I can, get that little roll of paint, just like always. Then I'll come right over here and I'll just start me a little mountain right here. It ain't got to be no special kind of mountain. When you do mountains, I think that's one of the biggest mistakes people make is they'll see somebody else's mountains and they'll try to duplicate them, and you end up messing up when you're trying to duplicate somebody else's work because it's so hard to do that. Thank you, Linda. Hey, Rod, how you, man? Welcome aboard the disaster train. Because I don't know how tonight's gonna go, but hey, we're gonna give it a shot here. We'll just make us just a little simple mountain range tonight. It ain't gotta be nothing real fancy, like I said. Just something up here that'll look like a mountain when we get done. That's all we gotta do. The main thing to remember, if I had to give somebody else some advice, would be when you're doing mountains, don't worry about what's happening in the body of it. Worry about that outside line first. Get that outside line to where it's clean and straight. That way it's, I don't know, it to me it's just a big part of mountains is having that. It's got to have that outside line's got to be clean and straight. And we'll do us another little short one right in here. And then I'm gonna say that's gonna just about do it for mountains it's tonight. I just don't think we need a whole lot of mountains. Like I said, this being my first YouTube live painting, I'm gonna try to keep it simple so I don't mess nothing up. All right, now one thing you can do, because a lot of people have a problem making the paint break, and one thing you can do is you can take your paper towel, and I just fold mine up, just get it kind of small. Come right in here in that body of this mountain, just like you would do with your brush, and just come in here and rub some of that paint out. And as you can see, I'm not worried with the body just yet. I'm trying to stay as close as I can up here to the outside line without actually touching it. I'm just wanting to get the biggest globs of paint, if that's a word, glob. Just trying to get the majority of it off, just like so. And now with that 2-inch brush that I cleaned a minute ago, I can come in here now and get. Ooh, that ain't dry. Make sure your brush is dry. If it ain't dry, that's what's gonna happen. And this one's got just a little thinner left in it. I don't know if y'all can see what just happened right there or not, but that thinner wanted to pull my color off, and it's trying to, but we're not gonna let that happen. We'll fix that. You just take your 2-inch brush or 1-inch brush, whatever one you're most comfortable with, and come up here and just start pulling this color down. That's all you got to do. Just pull it down. Because you want it to kind of mix with this white when it gets down here anyway. Because you're going to have you want to create mist down here eventually anyway. So hey, Vicky, you are correct. That's exactly what Bob would say. It's your world. How many times did we hear him say that? All right, then just lightly kind of brush out along the bottom here. And we got us a little layer of mist going on. Then we're going to come back up in here in our white with our knife. Pull that paint out flat as you can get it. That is so important to pull that paint flat. You come across, get you a little roll of paint, very little roll. And then come up here. Some people pull fast. I don't. I like to take mine and just start right here and just barely touch the canvas and just pull in little strokes. Just let that paint just barely pull off that knife. Well, now I will give you some advice right here too. If you know that when you are going to come back later and put some trees in here, if you know you're going to have a tree coming right over that thick paint, it'd be a real good idea to remove some of it right now or before you do it. You can probably wait before you do it. That way you'll know exactly where your tree is going to be. Because you don't want to try and build up a texture here and then try to bring a tree through it. If you want texture in your mountain, put it there, but try to keep in mind that, you know, if you're going to bring something else in front of it, that you got that texture there. All right, just real lightly is all I'm doing. That is such a light touch right there. And I'm just barely pulling. Pulling, stop, and pulling and stop. Just like that. And you can see all the little holes in that paint where it's breaking. I mean, it's got some spots where it's breaking and some spots it's not. I was talking to a lady from Australia yesterday, and I was talking to her about helping me get my name out over there. And she said one of the problems I would have is their mountains don't look anything like our mountains. And I hadn't thought about that. You know, you got all these guys, you know, like, well, a couple of them in here, Cozy and Dream World and Rod, and, you know, Ms. Linda, and everybody that's here that paints. You know, we paint stuff kind of the way we see it. And you don't really think about, you know, what the mountains look like over in China or what they look like in Australia. And those people do watch YouTube. I mean, I've got several people that watch from Australia, and I never once thought about, you know, looking at some pictures or maybe checking out a video and see what their stuff looks like, and maybe try to paint one of their style mountains one night. And when she said that, it kind of, you know, he hit on. I said, you know, you're absolutely right. I hadn't given it any thought at all. So I briefly, just very briefly, went and looked at a couple of the mountain structures in Australia. And she's right. They don't look nothing like what we got over here. They are totally different. All right, now right here on this little peak, all I'm doing is I just gave it a little kick out up there to make it have a little character. That's all I did. Nothing real hard, nothing real special. Oh, it's definitely my slow as Schnell's internet. Can't wait till. That's what we're on, Linda, is fiber. And I'm going to tell you, it is amazing. I love it. I'll be glad when you get it. You'll be pleased. Bob is probably watching you from a happy little cloud and smiling. I like to think so, Vicky. I really do. Bob was he was an inspiration to a lot of people. A lot of people. I would have liked to have known him. It had to be a it had to be a privilege to have known him. Bob would be amazed at how many people started using his method today. Yeah, he would, Rod. You're absolutely right, man. He really would. But it's always that's all he always talked about was teaching people this method and getting people to paint. He'd always say, "I'm gonna teach you. We'll teach you how to do it and release you on the world." And that's what he'd do. Because he'd tell you in the videos, we're just showing you a way to do it. Use your own imagination. I got to tell y'all, this painting live, I'm starting to get relaxed. I'm liking this way better because I can actually talk to somebody, and that's pretty neat. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of my white now. Let me show you how I'm gonna do this. All right, I'm gonna get a little of my white and put up here. I'm gonna pick up just a baby bit of blue. Then I'm gonna go to a little of my mountain mix color. Oh, that's too much. Not that much. And I'm just gonna real loosely mix this color. Real loosely. Leave it marbled. See it? Can you see it see how marbled that is? In fact, I may throw a little more to dark in there. Just like so. All right. Now I'm using my big knife still, but I'm gonna use that little corner of it. I'm not gonna use the big part because that's tight in there. What do y'all think about this angle right here of the camera? To me, that is like 100 times better than the way it normally is in the regular videos. And I could even turn that a little more this way. Well, it went the opposite way in the camera, so let's don't do that. Okay, I'll leave it like that. To me, that looks pretty good. My mountains tend to grow. I have to be careful, or they'll take over my whole canvas. Thank you, Rod. Yeah, Linda, they will. If you get outside of them lines, they'll grow. They really will. Just that's just one of them areas you just have to kind of slow down. I think, and I could be wrong here, but I think that a lot of people see other people do this process, and they've done it for so long that when they do it fast, and it makes people think that you're supposed to do this technique fast, and that's just not true. If you sitting at home, just like I am right now granted I'm on YouTube and I've got people watching live, but if you're sitting at home and you just want to paint just to have fun, why you got to be in a hurry? You don't have to be in a hurry. Rushing yourself may create a less painting than what you could do if you just take your time. Just slow down with it, and there's no road that says you got to do this process fast. Because the thing of it is, the more you paint, And the more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. And speed will come with time. And even when you get to where you can do it faster. That don't mean you have to. I mean, you don't always have to. You don't have to paint these pictures fast. Bob painted them fast because Bob had less than 30 minutes to film a whole show, and he'd get through it quick. So just slow down when you have fun doing this, because the end result's going to show. If you go too fast and mess up somewhere and don't fix it just because you were in a hurry, well, I mean, that's I don't know. Just take your time. 100% correct, Harold. Bob said many times that he only painted as fast as he did because he had to cram it on in 27 minutes. He constantly said, take your time home. Yeah, he did. And I couldn't agree with him more. I mean, I think a lot of people have that mindset. I really do, that they see people do this process so fast that they think it has to be done fast. And it don't. Is it an easier painting process than traditional oil painting? Yes, it is. But it don't have to be done fast. You can take all the time you need. You don't have to speed along. In fact, you don't even have to finish your painting in the same day. That's the beauty of this paint. It'll stay wet for several days. You can come back in there and finish it later if you want to. It's so much more fun for me when I stretch a paint. Yeah, me too sometimes. It gives you something to look forward to. Especially if you change your mind a lot like I do. But now when I'm doing a painting for YouTube or, like tonight, I'm not in a hurry. I'm not going to speed things up. Could I paint this painting faster? Well, yeah. I could paint it way faster. Would you get anything from it if I did? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if it would help you any at all if I came up here and just blew through it and, didn't tell you what I was doing and trying to explain things. I don't know. But I do know that there's many painters on YouTube, and there's a lot of great painters on YouTube, and they will tell you what they're doing as they paint. There's some great painters in this room right now, and I'm almost 100% certain anyone I'm in here would, if you have any questions, if you don't know, a particular something, and you had a question, you could just ask, and I guarantee you they'd be more than glad to help you. And I will. You can, like I've said a 1,000 times, you can reach out to me on social media, Facebook, private message me if you want, and ask me anything there is. If I know the answer, I'll help you. Hey, Harold, amazing work. Tell Cassie. Oh, hey, Connie, how you doing? Cassie's not here right now. We went earlier to Walmart north of here, and when we got home, we discovered that we did not have all the groceries that we paid for. So she called back over, and Cassie. she said she didn't appreciate it in her own kind of way. She kept it Christian. But needless to say, she's going to get our groceries. She was going to help me with this YouTube Live thing tonight and kind of keep you. If I didn't, we didn't know how many people was going to be in here. According to that, 9 is watching. So I didn't know if I'd have a bunch. And I didn't want to miss anybody's comments. This is my first live YouTube paint. And I've done a lot of videos, but this is the first time I'm actually live. So, all right. Did I lose anybody on what I just did? All I did was put the shadow color in, and I kept it kind of dark. Now, one thing you can do, and this is all preference, is you can come back in there with a little white and just put you some couple spots, or you can come back in there with some dark. Usually when I end up with a mountain looking, that decent, I don't fool with it. I'll just leave it alone. Because you can tell what it is. You can tell it's a mountain. So, all right. With that being said, I'm going to pick up a clean, dry 2-inch brush. And I'll come right here. And the best way I can describe this or to tell you where it makes sense is see how the mountain's coming down at this angle? That's the same angle you want to go back up it. Just start right here and just barely go up it. I mean, barely touch it. I'm just barely touching that paint. You can just barely see it moving. And I'm not going far up the mountain at all. I'm just staying right along that bottom. See that? Just right along that bottom. And I'm at the same angle that my paint's coming down is the same angle I'm going back up. And I'm just barely touching that. And I'll show you why here in just a second. All right, I'm going to knock that color off my brush. Thank you, Dream World. Thank you, Connie. All right. We'll take and pull back up the same way. And I'm going to let my brush kind of flat because the bristles I want it to hit are right here. I don't want all this back here to hit. I just want this corner right here. I want these bristles right here to hit. That's all I'm looking for, is to hit that. When I come up, I don't want to pull so high that I pull the paint up out of my mountain. I just want to come up. Oh, see how I did that? I pulled my paint out of the mountain. I'm trying to show you what not to do, and I did it. Oh, well. We'll turn it into a bird or something. But just real lightly, pull that color up the same way. Just real light. And if that camera shows the effect you're getting right here, it's like you can see through this layer of mist and still see your mountain base. I hope you can see that. All right, can y'all see where I pull that paint up? Oh, I was hoping y'all couldn't see that. No, I'm just kidding. We'll fix it very quick. It's easy to fix. All right, to fix that, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to get just a little bit of white and a little bit of blue, just some baby blue, and just make a real light blue color, match the sky color. Now, when I touch that color, it's going to go darker, so I'm going to add just a little more white. I'm probably going to end up putting a gray spot up here in my paint, but we'll be all right. All right, got my little sable brush, and I'm going to come right up here, and just with little circle motions, I'm just going to come up here, and that way, if nothing else, it'll look like a little small cloud back here. It won't look like I just came up here to fix a spot. It'll look like something. Somebody sees it, they'll say, hey, look at that little bitty cloud back there floating around that mountain. And if the right person sees it, that may be their favorite whole part of the whole painting. They may see it and say, oh, man, look at that. And then you can come back in here with your little small knife, pick up some more of your shadow color now. Come back up here, blend it. We're just going to grow them out a little bit. And just come back and put you another line in. And just make it a little bit bigger. Just like so. And it didn't grow much, but it did grow a little. Then we'll pick up just a little bit of white. We'll come back in here and fix this line now. And push all that right back over. Just like so. Now, nobody knows what happened. And we added a little cloud. I tried painting while camping. It didn't go so well. I think the heat threw my paint out or something. Oh, I'm gonna paint from home now. Oh, if it's anything like it is here, Rod, I agree. Man, it's so hot here. It's terrible here in Mississippi right now. All right, now I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm sorry I got distracted by the little paint I pulled out up there. It's only a happy accident. You can fix it. Thank you, Vicky. You're absolutely right. It's a happy accident. That's exactly what that was. Because it turned out being a little cloud. So, there you go. I don't know how many people know this or not, but Vicky is Bob's first wife. And tomorrow is the anniversary of Bob's death. Bob died on July the 4th, 1995, wasn't it, Miss Vicky? Yeah, Rod, that heat will, man. It'll wreak havoc on that paint. Especially if those tubes get heated up. What kind of paint is it? What brand? Because I know Bob's paint, well, most paint now is sold in those metal containers. You might could put you some. Most of it's Bob's. Yeah, well, then most of it's going to be in those metal tubes. You might could put it on some cardboard and let it suck up some of that melted oil and thicken it back up some. If you just want to paint while you can. All right, about like that's all we're looking for on our mouth. And just lightly come back across and blend out your brush strokes. All right, I'll hang on to that brush a little bit. Not a 1-inch brush I had earlier that I made the clouds with. I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick wash. All right. Yes, Bob sadly left us July the 4th, 1995. Tomorrow will be a sad day for me and our son Steve. I bet it will, Vicky. Like I told you earlier today, our thoughts and prayers are with you, and I know this has got to be a difficult time for y'all. And I've never met Steve, never met Bob, never met you, but y'all still in my thoughts. All right. I'm going to go right into my mountain color with that 1-inch brush. And I'm just going to tap the corner, just the corner of it in the paint. just like we did the clouds. Just tap it straight in. And I'm going to come across here. And I'm just going to touch the canvas and pull straight down. Just touch and pull straight down, just like that. Just touch the canvas, pull straight down. And I'm giving it some direction while I do that. And I'm pulling this color straight down. Or I'm trying to. I'm at an angle. I can't really tell where straight's at here, but I'm trying to keep it pulling straight down. Oh, that ain't straight. That ain't straight at all. All right, y'all don't do what I do. Y'all heading, if y'all looking at your canvas head on, just pull these colors straight down. Just real lightly. That's all you got to do. Just real lightly. And you can come over this way a little bit more. With this color being the straight mountain mix, that dark color kind of contrasts with that light color. If it starts getting too out of whack on you, just like so. Just try not to kill all your mist back here, because that mist is the separator between your trees and your trees and your mountain. It pushes your mountain back. All right. Now, I'm going to take that 2-inch brush that we used on the bottom of the mountain, and I'll come up here, and I'll go across and tap the bottom of these trees out. Make us another layer of mist across here. Just like so. Then I'll knock some of that paint out. Then I'll come up here and I'm going to pull these straight up. And that'll give them some, it gives them some separation in between them. Kind of makes it look like distance in between some of them. But it also gives them a sharp point up here. It makes them look like trees off in the distance. Then we'll come across the bottom, blend those brush strokes out. Just like so. All right. Now I'm going to use the same brush. Hadn't cleaned it. Still got the same color on it. I'm going to come right over in here and pick up. I'm going to grab a little of the sap green. Pull a little of it down. And then I'm going to go back into my mountain mix. Mix these colors right on the brush. Tap them together right on the brush. If you want to, you can add a little of the Prussian blue. Just, good dark color. Mixed with that green is all we're looking for. Things are starting to get closer to us in this painting, so we may start seeing a little more of the color now. Is the reason I opted to put a little of that green in it. And if this shows up right, you should be able to see a little of the green. But we're going to do it the same way. Just going to come in here and start pulling across here, straight down. And just stay under that mist back there. Don't kill all your mist. Because now the mist is separated between these trees and those trees. So it'll give it even a little more distance. Just like so. Just like that. That's all we're doing. It's just taking that brush and just lightly pulling down. All right, to me, it looks like it's not straight on my side, on my camera. Let's see if we turn this around a little more. Does that look straight to you guys? That ain't too bad off. Well, hey, if we make a leaning painting, let me turn it where I can see it a second. Oh, it ain't too bad. Okay. This must be the angle I'm looking at. Right, let's get it back up here where y'all can see it. Back like it was. All right. I'm gonna hang on to this brush a second. All right. Then I'm gonna take my 2-inch brush. I'm gonna knock a little of this color out. And I'm gonna come right up here at the bottom of these. And I'm gonna start me a straight line across here. And I just wanna lightly pull this color down. Just real lightly. Across here. Just pull it straight down. Just like so. Then I'm gonna take a little, since this brush has got the color on it, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna make a few streaks. Just to add that color that's up here. I don't want that color everywhere, but we'll add it in a couple places just to, and then I'm gonna come back up here and come back over this and pull it straight down again. We're going to, I guess we're going to have to do a little better than that because it just ain't working right today. Usually that works a lot better than that. All right, now come up here, pull this down. Across here like so. Now we got us some darker spots in it. And we're going to come right across real light. And just like so, put us in some instant reflections. Just like so. Then we'll take us another palette knife. Come up here and grab some white on our blade. And we'll come back over here and we'll add us a little waterline. And when doing a waterline, always make sure you keep it level. You don't want your waterline to look like it's running down the hill. That's my dogs. They hear the thunder. Sounds like we may have another little isolated storm coming through. All right, now I'm gonna come in here now and pick up with the same brush. I'm gonna pick up just a little of the Van Dyke brown and come over into these same colors, these dark colors we made. And I'm just gonna come right up here. Make sure your bristles are open on your brush. And just come up here and just start giving yourself a little tree shape. Just tapping down. Just coming down through here with a little tree shape. Just like so. And then when you get down here kind of toward the bottom, you can kind of kick out a little. I'm going to go ahead and fill all this in down here at the bottom because I'm not trying to do nothing real fancy today. So I'll just close all this in with just dark color. That's all we're going to do. Just like so. Just like that. That's all we got to do. Yeah, Thunder's got them upset. They are miniature dachshunds, and they think they are Rottweilers. I'm telling you. They are such a... Whew. All right, got some more of the same colors. Tap them right into the brush. And we'll come right up here. We're just going to start again. Just give myself a little tree shape. Just like so. Just real loose. Just a real loose tree shape in here. Just like so. And then on this side, I'm not gonna come down as far. I'm gonna come down to about right in here on that shadow. And just kind of kick this back across like so. Just about like that. And we know we're gonna have all this color down in here. We just don't know what all colors are gonna be down in here yet. But we know we're gonna have some, so we'll pull that down. Like so. All right, I'm gonna dump that brush off. Come up here now, I'm gonna grab my script liner brush. I'm gonna come into that same color with a little thinner on it. Kind of thin this color down. And just roll that brush around in that color. Just get it loaded up with that color. Pull it to a fine point like that. And then come up here. I'm just going to give myself the indication of a trunk. Then I'll come back and add a couple branches. Like so. Don't know how many of these branches are going to show up when we get done. But we'll put them there just in case some do. Like so. And we'll come over here and we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll put a little branch here. Then we'll drop down here and put us another little trunk up here. Make it look like we got us a pear trees growing over here. Not a pear tree like the fruit. A pear tree is like two being a pear. All right. Then I wash the brush. Them don't have to really be nothing special. Them trees don't. All right. Now we're going to start doing our highlights. And for that, I'm going to pick up my oval brush. And I'm going to take it and dip it into a little of the thinner. Shake it out in my bucket over here. Don't want too much on it. All right, the first color I'm going to pick up is going to be the bright yellow. The cad yellow. And I'm just going to tap my brush right into it. Make sure the bristles are open. I'm just tapping straight down into it. Just making sure the bristles are open. Then we'll come right up here. All right. I'm just going to touch right above the dark. Just lightly touch. See that? This is a very light touch. And all we want to do is keep in mind that we're building a tree and give ourselves some tree shapes up here. Don't kill all the dark. Whatever you do, don't kill all that dark. Now, when we made our trunk, we had thinner on that script liner brush, so it thins this color out. It's hard to get this thick paint to come back over that. If you see it's not covering your trunk, you can thin it down just a little bit more, but don't get up here and go to pushing harder because it didn't. Just thin your paint down a little bit more. Because if you get up here and go pushing hard, it's going to create mud. So just come over here, get you just another touch of thinner, and bring it over here. Thin this yellow down some more. Just a little. Now watch. You come back up here now and touch. And it'll cover that trunk right up. See how it's doing that? That's all it takes. Is just getting just a little bit more thinner in your paint. Because a thin paint in this process sticks to a thick paint. That's what Bob used to call the golden rule. Okay. Now this brush is picking up some of that darker color under it as it comes down, and that's fine. That is absolutely fine. Because the further it goes down, the darker it's going to get anyway. So that's great. Don't even try to fight that. Just let it happen. Just like so. But just like that. That's all we need. Now, one of the things I like to do is when I've got a color on my brush, I like to, I'm going to say right here, I'll make another bush using this same color. I don't have to come back later and look for this same color now because it's already on my brush. So I just go ahead and pop me in a little bush right there. That's the same color already. And if you think you're going to have one over here on this side, well, let's say we put one right in here. Come over here and just pop you in one on this side. That's all you got to do. Wherever you think you may put another bush that color, just go ahead and add it on in. We know we're going to have a little of this color down here, so we'll put a little in the water now. We got a bush up there. All right. Now, coming off this tree onto here, we got to make a color change. Because if we don't, it's going to all blend together and it's not going to look right. So, I'm going to come up here and pick up just a little of the green and bring it into the color now. Just a little. It don't take much. We're just looking for a slight color change and just a tad bit of the ochre. And we'll mix all these colors right here on the brush. Funky Beats. I heard your biggest fan, Tina. Looks great as always, like always. Funky Beats, Tina. Which Tina? do you usually use the oval for trees and bushes? Highlighting them, Rod, or uh, the base, making the base of them? For highlighting them, I don't always use it. Uh, Tina, hey Tina, how are you? I am tickled to death. I got my biggest fan in here tonight. I like how you contrast your bushes, yellow and red. Thank you. I'm going to do that tonight. In fact, so you got here just in time. I hear the chord. Yeah, we've got storms moving in, and the thunder's got them scared tonight. And their mama ain't up there with them tonight. She had to leave, so they up there by herself. Daddy done abandoned them. He come down in the basement. Rod, I don't always use this brush. I don't. I tell you what I'll do. In fact, I'll change it up. I'll when I get to this side, I'll use another brush. I like this brush because of the shape it gives the trees, but I don't know how to explain it. But no, I don't always use it. I have been a little more here lately because it's, well, I mean, this brush is so easy to do it with. I won't lie. This brush does make it easy, bro. It makes it so easy. Because of the shape, I think is the reason. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. All right. I'm going to grab just a little bit of the red now. All right, we got some weird sounds going on out there now. I don't know if it's fireworks or thunder. I hope it's fireworks. All right, we'll come right in here now and give us a little color change. All right, we're going to call it Tina's bush. Thank you, Dreamwell. I appreciate it. I usually use the oval for tree highlights, but not bushes. Yeah, uh, I know what you mean, Rod, and that's good. I mean, I know exactly what you mean. Probably use the round for bushes, don't you? We had a tornado warning here last night. Oh wow, that's not good. All right, we'll go up here now and get just a hint of the alizarin crimson. Bring down here. One inch used. Okay, yeah. Harold, do you ever try using a fan brush to highlight your trees? Yeah, right. Dream where I have. I didn't have any luck. I need to do a lot more practicing with that. Uh, I've seen Kevin Hill. Oh Lord, I hate to mention people's name without their permission. I've seen Kevin do it, and I have tried it. I, I haven't tried it successfully. I'll say that, but I do know it can be done, and I do know it looks good when it's done right. Have you got a video where you showing how to do that? If you do, I'll try to watch it. We'll send people over to your channel and get them to watch you over there. That's why I'm asking. Me neither. Oh, okay. I have never had any luck doing it. Now I did try it, but it didn't go well for me. It did not go well at all. All right, pick up a little more yellow now. Move out here. So what I try to do is I always try to get these little subtle color changes. To me, it adds dimension. It looks easy when Kevin is such a talent. I mean, the boy is, he's eat up with talent. He can paint. He is amazing. It looks easy. Yeah. All right, now I'm gonna knock a little of this color out. Then I'll come in here and get just bright red by itself. Then we're gonna put a little firecracker in here for Bob for tomorrow being 4th of July and his death anniversary. So that little firecracker right there is for you, Bob. All right, I'm gonna put this brush down now, and I'm gonna pick up the 1-inch brush that I was using earlier. We're gonna do a different technique. All right, get just a little thinner on the brush. And we'll come up here into my yellow. And we'll tap it in just like we did earlier. And we'll get just a little of the green. And we'll tap it right in to these same colors. Excuse me. That we got over here in this pile of paint. You can see this pile of paint starting to get colorful. When you go in that pile, you don't know what color you're gonna get right now. We'll just call it the surprise pile. How about that? We're going to the surprise pile. All right. My granddaughter was born on Dollar's birthday, October 29th. Oh, wow. How cool. All right, Rod, this is with the 1-inch. I'm going to come up here now and just start tapping on some colors. And it does add a whole different look to your trees. I mean, it really does. And your bushes. And that touch is just like the touch over here. It's just touch on the canvas and pull right back off. Just real easy. Now, I know I did that awful fast, and it probably looked like I was touching the canvas hard, but I wasn't. I was just barely touching. And we just talked about speed earlier. You don't have to do this fast. All right, I ran out of cad yellow, so I'm going to pick up just a little bit more. If I can find it in this pile of paint over here. I got to get better organized if I'm going to be doing live stuff. I'm going to have people throwing tomatoes at me. All right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll use a little white for now. All right, I'm going to get just a little bit of this white. And I'm going to bring it into this Indian yellow. I like them two colors together. All right, so it's white, a little Indian yellow, and just a tad bit of green. Then we'll come out here, and I'm going to make a bush with the 1-inch brush now, just like so. And this is just one method of making bushes with the 1-inch. Let me show you another method you can use. You can, let's see what colors to use. All right, I'm going to get just a little bit of thinner here. Just a little bit. All right. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the crimson and a little bit of the yellow ochre, and then with the brush straight down in here, just pull this color straight to you and just lift it off. See how I'm doing that? Can y'all see? Let me pull it at this angle. Can you see that? How I'm doing that? Just pull it straight and lift it right off. Loading it up with paint. See, I was leaving that little ridge of paint right there? That little ridge of paint's on your brush too. And it gives your brush a rounded look. See how that brush is rounded? Call that a dog leg in painting or whatever. Come up here and just barely touch and push up. Just like so. Work it around at a clockwise and counterclockwise kind of motion. And that gives you a whole different type of bush. You pull your brush right back through it again, the same way. Just have it standing straight up and just pull it till you start seeing that little ridge of paint when you lift that brush up. Make sure you got the rounded part sticking up. You come back up here, just barely touch and push straight up. And it's a very light touch. And if you're not real careful with these type of bushes right here, you'll make mud quick. Real quick. And for me, that's kind of why I like the tapping bushes more. It gives me more control of how I make it. Just a little more. I mean, it's like if you want to come in here and add, a tap type bush now, you can, just like so. I'm going to put a little of that color in the water. We'll come back over here and get some of this color now. We'll put it in the water. All right, this color's got a little more red to it. Well, it's got orange right there. Pick up just a little red. Uh-oh, it ain't working right. We'll give us a little of the ochre and put out here. It don't matter. You'll still be able to see these colors when we get started. All right. Now to finish this off, I'm going to come back over here and just a bright red again. And I think I'm going to come up here and get just a little bit of the phthalo blue and tap it in. And just a little bit more to red. And then a little of the white. And I'm going to keep tapping these colors until I see a real light lavender. And I'm going to finish the color out here in a real light lavender color, which is a bush color you don't really see a whole lot. And we'll put just a little bit of highlight on it. Just a little. But we'll do that just to add a little life to it. Just to do something a little different. About like so. All right, now I'm going to drop that in the thinner. Now I'm going to pick up a clean, dry 2-inch brush. And this is a very, very, very gentle touch. It's almost like you putting the brush up here, dropping it. Just barely pull that paint down. And if you pull it down soft enough, you'll leave some leaves in there. And if you can leave some of the leaves in it, you know you're pulling it down soft enough. All right, then knock the color out. And then we'll come right across here and just real lightly blend across. Ever so lightly. Just like so. Okay. Now we're going to come up here. I got the little knife, but it don't matter. You can use whichever knife you want to use. I'm going to come right up here in the Van Dyke Brown. I'm going to get that little roll of paint. And I'm going to come right here under my bushes. And I'm going to pull it down at an angle out here. Just across, like so. Just right at the bottom. Just pulling it out at an angle. That's all I'm doing. Just kind of pulling this Van Dyke Brown toward the center of the canvas in that direction. And just pull it out just like so. Give it a little dirt look under there. All right, now I got some contaminated white up here, so I'm gonna grab just a little of the dark sienna and just marble mix these colors. Grab a little of it. Come back up here, just like adding snow on the mountain, just real lightly. Pull that color across that Van Dyke Brown on your bank. Give it that it's kind of a dirt look almost in a way. Kind of a dirt rock look. All right. Then we'll grab just a little bit more of the white. We'll come up here, pick a little of it up, come back up under here, and just rub me in another water line. Just keep that water line as straight as you can across there. Just like so. Just like that. And then one of the things you can always do to end your painting, if you want to do it, is add you in a couple of splash marks out here in your little ripples in your water. And it don't take many of those to be effective. Just a couple here and there. Then you can take your knife, come back up, and scratch in some little sticks and twigs here and there. Oh, I didn't know one thing we need to do right quick. I'm going to grab a fan brush and drop it off in the thinner. And I'm going to come up here with some of this sap green and all these other colors that's mixed together down here. The white, the green, the brown, just all of these colors. Then I'm going to come right up here and I'm just going to take the corner of the fan brush and I'm going to come across here and just tap in a couple places on top of this little dirt mound we just put in. And give it a kind of a grassy or a little bushy look along the top here just to break up that straight hard line. We don't want a straight hard line if we don't have to have one. We can add a little white in it to make it stand out if we need to in a couple places. Just like that. And all that does is just makes your eye see it. That's something different. Then we'll grab my script liner again. And I've used all my red, but I got a little color here that's got some red in it. I'm going to take a script liner and toss it down in there. Okay, I got a couple minutes. That's how I do mine. Okay. I figured that's what you was talking about, Ron. Harold, you did great for first live. Good work, man. Thank you. Thank you, Dream World. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here, buddy. I really do. All right. I'll put my mark on it right here. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll call this I guess we'll call it a success since everybody says it was a good first live show. The only thing I'm trying to do is get my name out, and if y'all can help me spread the news and share it, and, you know, I'm trying to get my subscriber count up. I got to have 1,000 subscribers by October the 15th, or then it starts all over. Anybody that does YouTube knows how that works. And the October 15th will be my year mark. So I'm fairly new at doing this still. I haven't been doing it very long. Happy 4th, Dream World. Appreciate you being here, man. Have a great day tomorrow. Happy 4th. I love you guys. God loves you more. And with that, I think we're going to call it to do or done. And there's the finished product. Pick this side up. Whoop, wrong side. Pick this side up, kind of level it where y'all can see it's my desk leaning, not my painting. No, I'm having hamburgers tomorrow. I won't be eating no hot dogs. There we go. That's more love. Hot dogs, of course. Well, you enjoy. I hope you have a wonderful day, man. All right. So that's my first live YouTube painting. It was something just quick and simple. Just I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I really do. And I was nervous. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. Well, I'm just hoping we get to the get to 1,000 subscribers and get YouTube's algorithm. That'll help me get my name out. But I guess what I'll do now is I don't see nothing I forgot. I'll go ahead and wish everybody a happy 4th of July. Be safe. God bless you all. And thank y'all for joining me tonight. It means the world to me. I think the more we do of these, the bigger it'll get. To tell you the truth, I was not expecting to have at one time 9 people in here tonight. I really was not expecting that. Thank you, Ms. Vicky. Happy 4th to you. And if you see Steve or talk to Steve, tell him I said hello and let him know y'all in our prayers. And to have as many showed up as did, I can't tell y'all from the bottom of my heart how much it means. It means a lot to me. So thank you all and good night. And I will be doing another live hopefully pretty soon now that I'm figuring it out. See you next time on Painting with Harold.